All right, Christina, let's set the stage for our next segment. You're in a relationship. You're dating someone special.
Hypothetically.
This is in Never Never Land. Things are going great. Everything is butterflies and unicorns for you. You think you're ready to take it to the next level, but how do you know that you found the one you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Tricky question. Here to tell us the things we should be looking for to find our marriage mate is Dr. Jacqueline Del Rosario. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So what's the difference between a marriage mate and a soulmate?
Well, a soulmate is fictitious, so we got to turn on cartoons like, Nala and Simba, Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
They kind of get that. That's really an unrealistic expectation. A relationship or a marriage mate is someone that's a partner. They're like your equal opposite. That's the person that you're going to do life with forever. But it's not so much about being able to anticipate the person's next thought. It's about someone that's ready and compatible enough with you to do this thing called life together.
So you said you're equal opposite, and then you said compatible enough. And do opposites attract? Does that ever work?
They do, but that's a misnomer. So opposites attract, thinking that I'm going to be Susie Straight-Laced and I'm going to marry Dick Dirty is going to land us probably in divorce court. So make sure that we're talking about temperaments. Temperaments are not your core self. It's just aspects about your personality. Like I could be type A, my husband type B. And actually that's actually accurate for us.
Right.
So it balances you out. So you're not burning each other out at the core. It's one person balances the other, yin, yang.
So how do you know if you found the one marriage mate? How do you know?
Well, I think that there is a formula, and unfortunately most people don't know that. So there's a lot of different constructs for compatibility. There's 7 that I've identified.
Okay.
So our list is really going to kind of take us through a couple of those constructs.
All right.
So
number one is that you're like-minded. What does that mean?
Well, like-minded means that your core self is similar. Think about it. How much less conflict are you going to have if you're more like someone? We're going to agree more than we disagree. It's the disagreements that land you in divorce court.
But do you mean our values are the same? Do you mean we both like peanut butter? What is it?
Morals and values. That's your core self. So my beliefs about how I live life. I heard you talking earlier about how you love integrity and that you're a good man because you have to look at yourself in the mirror, not because someone else thinks you are, but how you measure yourself.
Sure.
Well, you want a mate that kind of feels similar, don't you?
Yeah.
Suppose you were integrous, but then your wife was a lawbreaker. Just not very good.
Breaking the law.
And it gets more complicated when you put children in the mix.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you want to have core values and morals that are similar.
And you also say temperament, too. Temperament has to be sort of compatible as well.
Well, temperament is where we can differ. So that brings a balance. So if I'm high-strung and you're, mild and easy-mannered, then that's better for us as a couple. So the temperaments are okay if we're opposite.
You mentioned that both people in the relationship, and I totally agree with this, have to be committed to doing the work. Because marriage isn't about when you're swept off your feet, right? It's about the part where your feet hit the ground again.
There you go. And we know that all those wonderful feelings, the butterflies, go away over time.
Right.
It's a chemical reaction. But there's a 4-letter word that's not a bad word. It's W-O-R-K. So we have to be willing to work. And sometimes that willingness wanes over time. We came into the relationship, we're willing to work. And then maybe sometimes we start to think after 10 years in, I'm not willing to work so hard. But both have to be equally committed because a marriage is really about 2 people.
So it's not like the Beatles say, all you need is love. You need a little work, too.
You need love and a lot of work.
A lot of work.
It's that investment.
You say, speaking of love language, what is that exactly? Is that talking dirty? Is there a difference?
It's not talking dirty. It'll keep you out of dirt. Love language is about, most of us, we know what we like, and we tend to do for our mates what we like. But really, that's not really that important. If I like chocolate ice cream, and I want ice cream, and you bring me, you think vanilla. Vanilla's going to be good for her because it's my favorite. Doesn't really satisfy the same. So you want to discern your mate's love language. What are the things that make them feel loved and make them feel good about the relationship? And then there's another aspect. You need to learn to speak male. And he needs to learn to speak female. Because there's some gender differences that really do impact the way we relate to one another.
No, it's absolutely true. And assuming that your needs are your partner's needs can get you in a lot of trouble because I'm one of those people that I'm really touchy, I'm really tactile. My wife needs her space.
Right.
And I need to know that. Just because she comes home doesn't mean she wants to be hugged and given a back rub all the time.
Now, there's a lot of people that are listening to that comment thinking, what woman doesn't want to be loved and touched? But again, she's specific. She's an individual. You've learned her love language, how to make her feel loved and accepted.
How do you learn that, though? I mean, if I said to my husband, go vacuum, he's like, I need to be told things. I need to be physically told things because I don't know what you want.
Me too.
So how do you learn it?
Okay, but see, now you're talking two different things here. So let's delineate. Women have a habit of thinking that men, if they love them, are paying enough attention to what it is that we like or what we're thinking, and that they anticipate. Wrong. Men are just wired differently, and they really want to be told. They don't want to kind of guess or assume, so they want to be told. So I think that conversation is the beginning point. You need to ask them, what kinds of things do you like or make you feel really good in the relationship? Open, candid conversation. So to you ladies out there, begin to talk.
Tell us.
That's right.
Tell us. One of the other steps really like this, when they've got to be willing to work on the relationship problems as a team together. How do you do that?
Well, working on anything as a team, I have to figure out what are the rules of the game, what is our aim, what are we going for here, and then what's the best way for us to get there. So again, I think couples talking about communication styles, talking about what's important to them, and even as we evolve, some people come to me and they say, Dr. Jackie, I want things to be the way that they used to be. They're never going to be the way that they used to be. You're a different person. You've evolved over time. So you've changed since you came into the relationship.
Right.
How has that affected your relationship? What's changed about the goals of the relationship over time? Keeping that on the table and before you, I think, is really important.
Dr. Jacquie, thank you so much. Good stuff.
And for more great relationship advice, go to drjackie.com.